I've been speaking about this a lot recently, and I'll say it again. I am pro-trans rights. Whatever the hell you want to do with your body is utterly fine. But I have some advice real quick for the transgender movement. I have something I want to get off my chest. I 100% think it's okay if you want to go from Alex to Alicia or Alicia to Alex. Whatever you got to do in this short lifetime, I completely get it. But it feels like the transgender movement a little bit and the cross-dressing movement is shoving it in people's faces a little bit too much, which is then causing the small d energy of the people on the right that believe in God and that fictional book known as the Bible. You're just pushing people away. So I'm not really big into the Olympics, but that opening ceremony, are you trying to get people to not support your movement? Again, I'm a pretty liberal guy that leans to the right as well. I'm in the middle. I don't vote. I don't believe in politicians, but I do believe in human rights. But I get that the Paris Olympics and any Olympics, the opening ceremony always shows off the culture of the country. And I get that whole spectacle, and we'll play a news clip about it in a second, but that whole spectacle, I get that represents kind of the fact that Paris is sort of gay. But if you're just trying to get people to hate your movement, that was perfectly fine. But I think that the transgender movement, not that you need to chill out, you can keep being yourself, but there needs to be a great equalizer. There needs to be somebody who goes and has a discussion. It's not like an intervention, but we need to have somebody put all the right-wing nut jobs in a room and put all the transgender people in a room and go, listen, you're not going to agree on this at all. You're always going to think that the transgender people are evil, they're ruining the kids, even though they represent like 2% of the population, that they're just satanic and blah, 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 da, da, da. And then you can tell the transgender people that they're always going to think that the right-wing people are sexist, racist, homophobic, transphobic, and to just leave each other alone. Because what I'm noticing is a lot of these right-wing nut jobs, they use the word God and that fictional book known as the Bible. They use it as a crutch. I don't believe in God. I think it's utter nonsense. Done a lot of microdosing and thinking about it, and to me, it's no different than Harry Potter. It's just a book with a lot of words. I don't believe in God. I think once you're dead, that's it. I don't think my uncle, my dad, and Kobe Bryant and Abraham Lincoln are all hanging out in heaven. Whenever I bring up that concept, everybody kind of cringes. People that believe in God, they're like, oh, it's kind of a good point. But whatever you got to believe in, that's fine. But it feels like the right-wing nut jobs, the same ones that support a potential president who cheated on his pregnant wife with an ugly porn star. Yeah, that guy. You're going to then hate on transgender people for being themselves? Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. I don't know. And a lot of times, whenever these boomers get outraged, and they're like, oh, they're ruining the kids. It's like, no, your bad parenting's ruining the kids. Okay, boomer. I found this sound effect on YouTube, and this is a new addition to Hoppe Hour. Okay, boomer. Whenever the boomers complain about things being different, even though they were having orgies at Woodstock, and they probably were very promiscuous in the 70s and 80s, but, oh, let's rip into the next generation. It's the same generations that we created. I think that's hilarious, by the way. Boomers and older Gen Xers rip into the younger generations, but you're the ones that gave birth to us. Okay, boomer. Oh, once again. Okay, boomer. So I see this here, and everybody was freaking out over the Olympics opening ceremony. And what's funny is I think the transphobia and the homophobia is getting worse because of X and Twitter. Because before, when Jack Dorsey owned Twitter, hate speech wasn't allowed as much, but you literally have Elon Musk, one of the most powerful people on this planet, unfortunately, just because he was born into daddy's money. He would not have created anything if it wasn't for daddy's money. Don't forget that, Elon. And all you incel fans that kiss his ass, he wouldn't He wouldn't pee or spit on you if you were on fire. Here's the thing, though. I love that saying. The thing is, you have this guy who's a homophobic deadbeat dad, and he's running a platform that has hate. Because whenever I look at the For You page, which is my main algorithm, it's all, oh, gay people are going to burn in hell, da-da-da, da-da-da. And then I saw this. And this will perfectly explain everything going on.
Whoa! Happy hot topic!
Candace Cameron has a lot to say.
Opening ceremonies completely blaspheme and mock the Christian faith.
All right. This whole mindset of, oh, it's making fun of Christians. Why do you get a free pass and no one can rip into you? You guys are ridiculous. You think this woman gave birth to a kid without having intercourse? You think there's this guy that hung on a cross for 6 days or whatever it was? There's all this nonsense. Really? Why are you excluded from being made fun of? Rest in peace to my dad, but whenever Family Guy would be on and they would make fun of Jesus, he would so cringe. It's it's probably fictional. My dad's probably just sleeping forever. I'm being real. You are getting outraged over something that's fictional. You don't really care about God or being a moral person. It just gives you an outlet to be homophobic and to be a bully. Do you notice a lot of the people that are religious, a lot of the people that have hateful thoughts are the same people that were probably bullies in high school? Like Candace Cameron seems like she was one of the bitchy cheerleaders.
With their interpretation of the Last Supper.
Well, that wasn't very cool, the opening Olympics to make fun of the Last Supper. I'm like, are you trying to trigger those Christians? And I love when people on the right say, oh, liberals get triggered so easily. So do you guys.
Was disgusting.
Candace Cameron Bure taking the Olympics to task, blasting this controversial opening ceremony moment on Instagram.
Trust me, it makes me mad.
Why? Because you don't like gay people?
But I'm more sad because I'm sad for souls.
I always risk it becoming a headline. I'm a faithful woman. I believe that God's timing is God's time.
Oh, God, enough of God. I hear radio DJs on air doing the 7-second talking in between songs and saying, God, God. Isn't God supposed to be full of love? Yeah, the transgender people are different, but isn't God supposed to have your back? I don't think God's supposed to be hateful.
Timing.
The time is now for Candace, who rocks a rebel hat and reads Bible scriptures in her takedown.
But the one who sows to the Spirit will reap eternal life from the Spirit.
There's no eternal life. You might have 100 years on this planet and then you're done.
The actress, one of many, speaking out against Friday's ceremony in Paris, with this segment using drag performers in what many assume depicted Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. TLC's Chili, Haley Duff, and Candace's daughter, Natasha, all praising her message in the comments.
Oh yeah, you're all a bunch of right-wing nutjobs. I'm looking at Candace Cameron's, essentially her bio, her resume, which is called Wikipedia. She played DJ Tanner on Full House, which I never watched. And she made a few Hallmark movies, and she was in Dancing with the Stars and did 1 year on The View. I never saw her on The View. I try not to watch The View, but I bet she was insufferable.
Not the deadly sin sort of pride that has an entire month dedicated to it.
Yeah, Harrison Butker's weighing in too after his faith-based comments made headlines in May. The Chiefs kicker sharing the ceremony moment on X with a Bible verse. While Rob Schneider...
Let me read this Bible verse. But not deceived, God is not mocked. For what things a man shall sow, there also shall he reap. For he soweth in his flesh, of the flesh also shall reap corruption. But he that soweth in the Spirit, of the Spirit shall reap life everlasting. Galatians 6:7-8. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Bunch of words. What does that mean? What does that mean?
X with a Bible verse. While Rob Schneider writes, I cannot watch an Olympics that disrespects Christianity and openly celebrates Satan.
Oh, shut up. You're a comedian from the 90s and 2000s. When did you become this big voice guy? When did you become this religious guy? You made awful movies. You were a hack version of Adam Sandler.
You want to boycott? Boycott the games.
Yeah, and then I heard all these bars are boycotting the Olympics because of something that you don't get. Cool. Riveting. Get out of here. I hate people that do that. It's the same people that didn't watch the NFL when Kaepernick kneeled, even though Kaepernick got the approval of the Marines to do that. Oh, we're not going to do it. Sounds like you're pretty triggered. You're the ones that are always talking about liberals being triggered, but it seems like you're triggered.
I'm going to watch the games. I want to support our athletes. There are a lot of great Christian athletes competing as well.
Why are all the middle-aged, beautiful blondes, the MILFs, why are they always like conservative? They ain't conservative in bed.
So I want to support them, but if you feel a conviction not to watch, then don't.
I love having conversations with people who have differing opinions than
That's her 9 years ago. Oh my goodness, did she age?
me.
Candace doing plenty of that nearly a decade ago when she co-hosted The View. Fast forward to 2024, her former table mate Whoopi Goldberg adding context from the event organizer.
Here's the thing too. Right in this comment section on the video, it says, they were disrespecting the Christians. What is it called when you believe in God? Oh yeah, faith. You have faith that he's real. It's not fact. It's not faith talk radio. It's fact. Or it's not fact talk radio, it's faith talk radio. You have faith that it's real. Since when have Christians have this attitude? They think that what they believe is what everyone should believe. No, it's what you believe.
Who say their inspiration was from a famous painting, but not Da Vinci's biblical masterpiece.
Ugh. I saw the outrage and I saw it on X and Twitter that night and I go, oh, good. The world's just more divided. And then the one thing I didn't appreciate was the one dude, they were wearing like Speedos or whatever, and the one dude's balls were kind of showing. And I'm like, see, things like that is not going to get people to support the trans movement. Oh, it's so demonic. Satan's fake. It's all fake. You know, religious people, they just don't want to think that they're not going to last forever. You know, a lot of religious people are people that make a lot of money, that have hot wives, that come from the South. It's like Ricky Gervais said, why do people from the Middle East believe in this God, but people from the South are Southern Baptists? A lot of people that are religious, here's what it is, because I have family members that are so religious. They've had a really hard life, and they can't believe that these horrible things would happen, so they want to lean on this God. They want to lean on this God to give them some type of hope. You know?
The Feast of the Gods, which is a 17th century Dutch painting of the Greek Olympian gods, you know, the Olympian gods, because it's the Olympics.
Oh, God, when did Whoopi Goldberg get so annoying? I'm not saying she was ever cool, but my God, she got more annoying with age.
If people go look at the original Greek Olympians and what they were doing in pictures, you're going to be even worse.
Well, we can't even show the painting it's based on.
In fact, an Olympic social media account spelled all this out last week. The interpretation of the Greek god Dionysus makes us aware of the absurdity of violence between human beings.
Oh, whatever. I've had enough of this. Just had to get my opinion out there. I feel like not a lot of people speak their mind in the millennial generation, and I'm here to speak my mind.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.